Good morning. I think my name's Caitlin. Anyways, I think I'm gonna maybe do 2 short episodes today because I don't think that my first topic's gonna really go with the second topic. So we'll see. But I don't know how long I'm gonna talk about this first topic because I don't feel like it's something that I have a whole lot to say about. I just been thinking about it, and it's just important for me to talk it through, which is the whole reason why I started this podcast, so I could talk things through with myself. I've been having a lot of conversations with myself, or imagining conversations with different people over this past week. I know that I said that I used to do that all the time, and then I kind of stopped doing that. Well, it's started back up again, and it's not intentional at all. I don't really have any control over it. I just start doing it. It's annoying because there's think about something else, please. But I just can't sometimes. But in my kind of ruminating and perseverating, I have thought a lot about different topics of fundamental beliefs that I have, ways that I view life and the world and myself, just bigger things. I guess things have happened that have made me question my own morality, what I think is moral, what is human nature, what is correct behavior, how do you treat someone, just so many things that have come up in my mind, in my conversations to myself. But so, as pretty much everybody knows, there's been somebody at my work that has been, I guess, kind of interested in me in kind of, I don't know, I had to have a conversation hey, I'm not, doing that, so I'm just gonna tell you now, clearly. And I'm not good at that. I'm good at being clear when it's not awkward for me. I don't know. It was a weird conversation, and I was just get me out of here. But it was fine. I still feel like maybe I wasn't clear enough because I had so many things going through my brain, and I don't think the right things came out. So I don't know. It's fine. But this episode is going to be on monogamy and my perceptions of it, and my relationship, and just how I have lived my life in the past, how my life now is different, why it's different, how yeah. So in the past, I haven't always had a monogamous relationship, not with my current partner, but with my ex. My ex and I, now I know that people might be listening to this that know me, but you know what? Screw it. I don't really care. This is my past. This is who I am, and that's fine by me. If you want to get upset, that's your problem, not mine. But we had an open relationship for half of our relationship, which was 5 years. So for 2.5 years. And in my opinion, based off of research and other just ruminating on things, I really don't think that it's in human nature to be monogamous. I think that fundamentally we are animals, and animals bond with each other in different ways, and it's not especially people, like, people are primates. Primates will mate to show dominance. They will mate to bond with various members in their, group. It's not, I don't think it's in human nature to be monogamous. But I know that there's this, especially in religion, but also it's just societally, there's this insecurity that a lot of people have. Myself included, I've definitely fallen into this category where it's like, am I not enough? But that's not really what it's about at all. It's just people are different and there are different reasons for it, but logically, that's how I feel. Like, logically, my brain is telling me, yeah, of course, humans aren't built for that. However, lots of people try. Some people are successful at it. You can deny aspects of your human nature, It's also, human nature to do other things that maybe aren't great. So it's not saying that, like, there's any moral aspect to it, but a lot of times we assign morality to things, and that's something that we definitely assign morality to, and I know that I have, and I grew up very religious, and so it was something that I was made to feel very guilty for even thinking, and I still hold that with me even though my beliefs have changed. And it's frustrating because thinking about a thing is not the same thing as doing the thing. Also, I have lots of terrible thoughts and I don't do any of them. I've thought about my own death multiple times. Not gonna happen. But it's just like, eventually, but not at my own hand. It's, thoughts are going to happen. They're not inherently evil. It's what you do with them. But also, it's just, my partner feels a certain way, and he made that very clear when we first got together. And so I weighed my needs, essentially. I decided that I could, if that was the thing, that was like the thing I have to compromise on. As someone who's bisexual, who, has desires towards other women, I knew it wouldn't be the easiest thing in the world. Also, I previously was coming from an open relationship where I could pretty much do whatever I wanted, and it was a learning curve for me. But I really, really liked this person, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do my best, and I've kind of viewed it as a challenge to myself. Like, I am going to be different. I'm gonna be a quote-unquote better person, even though logically I know it doesn't mean anything morally. A lot of people would disagree with that, and I'm aware of that. And I think that's the hard part for me, is that, like, I don't believe the same way that most people do. Like, I'm not in the majority here. But some of the most educated and just, like, smartest minds in the world have not been monogamous, historically speaking. There's just so much evidence that, like, you can't really deny that it's not in human nature. But we make sacrifices for the people that we love. And my partner is amazing and fulfills things that I need. I am autistic and ADHD. I have special needs, you know, and he is there for me all the time. And I would never want to lose that if I can help it. And I feel that I can deny that side of me. I can deny that little piece of me that feels that there could be more out there, that, you know, I'm not going to be young forever, and eventually I'll be old, and what if I regret not having fun and doing things? Like, yeah, sure, that may happen. But who was there with me through all the panic attacks and all of the meltdowns and all of just everything that's happened in the past few years? There's been some really horrible things. I lost a loved one to suicide. I had to take a family member to the mental hospital. Another family member had 4 surgeries that I live with. So, like, lots of stuff has happened. And my partner's been there through all of it. Like, I feel like he deserves for me to be able to do this, you know, to be able to deny those parts of me, because, you know, it's easier for me. I'm a female. There's more interest in me physically, I think, than him. And also he works in an industry where he doesn't meet a lot of women, and he is straight, so it's not something that, you know, also he wouldn't really meet a lot of gay guys even if he was, but he's not. And so it's like there's not the opportunity to even have the temptation. And I'm not saying that, like, I am wanting this, like, that I want to go out and, like, explore. But I've thought about it recently because this person brought the topic up essentially by hitting on me at work. So it's like, I've been thinking about it. You know, what is my opinion? How do I feel? Because I tend to just ask other people how I should feel because I don't know. And it takes me a really long time to figure out how I feel. So sometimes it's just easier to just take on the opinions of somebody else. But I'm trying really hard not to do that because that's how I ended up being indoctrinated into religion for all of my childhood up until, like, late teenagehood. But I just, I don't want to take on other people's opinions because I want to know how I feel. Like, what do I really believe? I think that I hold a lot of guilt and shame for just being different. I feel that sometimes the way I believe is wrong, because other people don't believe the same way as me, and I don't like that. I don't like that other people think I'm wrong. But I care more about my partner's opinion of me than I care about just anybody else, especially some random person. That, like, I literally never paid attention to till he said some out-of-pocket shit to me, and I was like, what? So, yeah, like, I really care about my partner and what my partner thinks of me. I would never be able to just, like, keep a secret from them, like, or do something and not tell. Like, I can't do that. Like, my shame and guilt would cause me to, like, literally throw up every morning and feel like my insides were on fire. I would feel like I was gonna shit myself. Like, it would be horrible. Like, I know this. I know this about myself. I'm trying to view it as like a positive thing, that like I have, I don't know, that I have like a strong inner moral compass or something. I don't know. All I know is my anxiety would never allow me to do anything like that. And that's probably a good thing, right? A lot of people would say so. But again, it's tying sexuality to morality. And that frustrates me because I don't really believe that. But somebody that I deeply care about believes that. And he's my partner in crime, and I would never want to hurt him, even if it was just me that knew. Like, I would know that I hurt him. Like, I would be hurting him. Like, I can't separate the two. Like, I can't. Which is, good for him, because then he knows I'm never going to do anything like that. For me, it causes some dilemmas, obviously. So I'm talking about it, and I'm talking about it for quite a while. But it's like, I also have my certain things that I got really upset about. That was related to a very similar thing. And I'm like, okay, well, why did that make me so upset? And I'm like, oh, well, maybe it's because of the all or nothing thinking. I'm like, well, you can't even look at another woman if you want to be with me, because I'm not allowed to do anything with anybody else, or nobody's allowed to see me. So, like, in any type of revealing way. So, this all or nothing thinking, it really does end up tying back to autism. Like, I have this all or nothing way of categorizing information, and it's like, okay, well, that's not acceptable because this isn't acceptable. In my last relationship, it wasn't like that, because I had basically all of the freedom, and I couldn't, I can't. If I had freedom to do whatever I wanted to do, I couldn't possibly say that he couldn't do whatever he wanted to do. Like, we're equal in that. So, do whatever you want because I'm doing whatever I want. And that's like, it's a weird place to be, where it's like, wow, my life's changed a lot. In some ways, definitely most ways for the better, I would say. Except for this week, I've been way more emotionally regulated. My nervous system has been much more regulated, at least over the past 6 months. I feel like I'm learning so much about myself. And my partner's so supportive of me in like pretty much all of the ways that you could be supportive of someone. So basically, the whole point of this is to say, we don't see eye to eye on this thing, but I also have conflicting feelings. I don't really know how I feel. I know how I feel logically, but internally, emotionally, I feel different than what I logically think. And that's a hard place to be when you've got this inner conflict. I don't know what's right and what's wrong. And sometimes it is a gray area. For me, being with someone in person is more special than watching someone online. I feel like there's a disconnect there that I just don't enjoy, and I never got into. And I try not to judge people for their preferences, but to me, I'm like, just go out and meet a real person. Meet a real person. I guess I just don't, it's a hard thing for me to like wrap my head around. But why does that bother me? What would I do if the roles were reversed and my partner was being hit on by someone, and like how would I feel about that? What would I do? I don't know. That's not happened yet, so I don't know how to feel. And I also know that my partner feels very strongly about his stance on relationships, so I know that he would feel differently than I do right now. Like, not saying that I want to do anything, but I'm just saying that, like, I have the moral dilemma that I'm going through that I don't think he would be going through, because he's never had the experiences that I've had or the type of relationship that I used to have. And, there's just a lot of things that would be different. But I also think I would feel differently than he does, because I have a different viewpoint on the subject. Not to say that I'd just be like fine with it. I'd have questions. But I don't know if I would be like upset. I just don't know. Obviously I've been overthinking this way too much. It wouldn't have mattered who brought this topic up in my brain. Once it's there, I'm stuck on it. Just like I'm stuck on this one group for music that I've been listening to nonstop for 2 weeks. It's just stuck. And hopefully by talking it out and getting it out, it'll get unstuck. Trying to like, I don't know. It's like trying to get peanut butter off of something. Like, it takes a lot of effort. I only say that because I eat peanut butter and jelly or peanut butter on a bagel like pretty much every morning. And every morning I have to like turn the water on like all the way hot, wait for it to heat up, and then like try and get the peanut butter off the knife, because it's hard to get off. And then I'm trying not to wake my mom up, who's downstairs, and it's just like she's still recovering from surgery, so it's like it's complicated trying to like be quiet and not turn on any of the lights, and just it's a whole thing. That's where that came up for me. It's like getting something unstuck out of my brain is just so hard. And I don't want, like, because I can't get it unstuck, I feel it does sometimes feel like a moral thing for me. It's like, oh, well, if you can't stop thinking about these topics, and maybe you actually are interested, or maybe you actually deep down like do want this. And it's like, no. But like, trying not to view everything as either a moral right or a moral wrong. Like, I'm trying so hard to just allow myself to have thoughts. I have lots and lots of thoughts, and I felt guilty about the last thing I perseverated on, and it caused me some anxiety, and it was a totally different topic, and I'm just like, I need to stop having guilt and shame related to things that are just how my brain works. I am autistic. This is something that I'm going to do for the rest of my life. It's always happened. It's always going to happen. It's not going to happen 24/7. There are going to be times where I don't have something that I'm perseverating on, but it's going to happen. And I need to just let it happen. And if it's something that I really don't want to think about, then it might be good to have some tools to help in that. That's kind of what I'm working on right now, is like, how do I get something unstuck? How do I get rid of thoughts that I don't want? or that I think are maybe not healthy for me. It's like part of me really does want to think about this because I think it's an important thing to consider. I like to consider very philosophical questions, but it can get too much and it can be really all-consuming for me. And it's like that's all my brain will think about for like a couple of weeks or so. And it's like that's not healthy. So how do I have healthy thought patterns when they keep coming? The thoughts keep coming. So like how do I've never been good at meditating. I've never been good at being like, oh, just silence your mind. If you have a thought come in and you just send it away. Like I've never been good at that. I'm trying to send them away. My anxiety, shame, and guilt feelings have like all been kind of here. Having the gut issues and a little bit of sleep problems and the just being really distracted. And I don't know what's right. I feel like there's a right and a wrong, and everybody's got a different opinion on what that is. So I don't know what my opinion should be. And I think that I'm not going to have that answer right away. And it is really up to me to decide. But it's not going to change my behavior. And I think that's the thing that I need to just be really firm on. And the fact that I have really hard time setting boundaries is a tough one because I have a hard time just like saying no to someone. Like, so I want to be better at that. Because even if I believe one way, I'm not gonna hurt my partner by changing my behavior. I have chosen this and I am happy with my decision. So I just need to be able to disappoint people when they want something different from me. And that's okay. I'm gonna disappoint people. And especially when it comes to something like this, it's 100% in my control. So yeah, that's where I'm at today. I don't even think I have time to get into my class today, which is fine, because this is something I've really been thinking about. Let me know what your opinions are. I feel like I should take a nap. Like, I want to take a nap right now. I'm so tired. My brain's been so overactive on this topic, and yeah, it's just it's a very complex topic, and I'm always thinking of new things that are related to it. I'm like, oh wow, that's connected to this and that. I'm telling you, I just need to. I need a break. I need a break from my brain right now. So, anyways, I'm just gonna end this with I love my partner very much. I would never want to do anything to hurt them, and I'm not going to. And I would like rest now. Now that hopefully this has helped me kind of close that chapter of thinking for a while. because it's not like I'm ever going to completely stop thinking about it, because it's a philosophical question that is always going to come up at some point. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a good day, and that I hope that this was maybe food for thought for you. Don't perseverate on it like me if you can help it, because it's exhausting. But it's a good topic to think on if you want something to think on. It's definitely distracted me for a long time, given me something to think about at work, because work can get kind of boring. But it's also been like distracting, so I need to get back on it. Speaking of, I'm gonna get to work, and thank you all for being here and listening to me ramble on about life. And of course, always remember that you are enough.